You put together a pitch, outline a proposal, or ask for a simple favor, and you are hit with a flat, unavoidable rejection. The most powerful people in any room rarely have the biggest bank accounts. True leverage comes from mastering one extremely specific skill, knowing exactly how to convert a target's no into a definitive yes. To do that, we are going to break down a 5-step psychological script. By the end of this sequence, your target will actually feel like agreeing to your request was entirely their own idea. Mastering this specific pitch structure removes the guesswork from human interaction. You stop relying on luck or charm and start engineering consistent, repeatable agreements. Step 1 is the ego hook. Before you even mention what you want, you have to deal with a psychological concept called inertia. Humans naturally resist taking on new tasks, and their default state is to push back against outside demands. To break that resistance, you ask the target to share their expertise on the subject. Instead of making a demand, you ask, "What do you know about this?" Most people fail because they aggressively push their agenda right away, triggering the target's defenses. The successful approach does the exact opposite. You pose the question, step back, and actively listen while they explain their thoughts. While they are talking, do not interrupt. Let them fully download their knowledge and establish themselves as the expert in the conversation. Stroking their ego this way neutralizes their defensive inertia. They feel valued and respected, which opens them up to your forthcoming influence. Step 2 is the rhythm of 3. If you present a single demand, the target can easily say no. If you structure 3 specific choices, you dictate how they perceive the solution. You present the first option as a physically exhausting, highly labor-intensive path. You emphasize the time and sweat required to achieve the goal on their own. You then present the second option as financially draining. You highlight how it burns through cash with absolutely no guarantee of success, making it highly unappealing. Finally, you present the third option, your actual request. Framed against the first 2 disastrous choices, your proposal looks like the only logical, effortless solution. Now that the logic is set, we move to step 3, reciprocity and the profit drop. This shifts your pitch away from pure logic and grounds it in human emotion. The principle of reciprocity dictates that humans have a powerful urge to return a favor. Offering a small upfront token, whether it's a genuine compliment, a piece of useful advice, or a minor concession, tips the scale and makes them want to help you in return. Once that token is accepted, you explicitly state their profit. You must clearly identify the personal benefit they gain from agreeing to the arrangement. Pure logic invites debate and counterarguments. Clearly demonstrating exactly how a target benefits from your plan is what actually secures the final agreement. Step 4 introduces the reverse psychology nudge. You introduce a hint of scarcity by gently questioning their capability. Saying something like, "This might be too complex for you to handle right now," triggers an innate desire for them to prove themselves and take on the task. There is a crucial failure point here. You must avoid this tactic entirely with low self-esteem targets. If someone already doubts their abilities, they will simply agree with your negative assessment and walk away. For confident targets, we proceed to the final phase, step 5, the bull's horns. You frame the final decision so the target has a clear choice between 2 distinct options. The trap is that both paths ultimately loop back and result in a definitive yes for your request. Once those choices are presented, there is an absolute rule. You must hold complete silence. Do not justify the options. The tension of that silence forces the target's brain to fill the conversational void. They will feel compelled to make the decision on their own, locking in their commitment while keeping you from looking desperate. Let's review the complete persuasion script. You secure the ego hook, present 3 calculated choices, highlight their explicit profit, deploy the scarcity nudge, and close the deal by trapping them on the bull's horns. Here is your assignment for today. Pick a low-stakes scenario, like deciding where to eat with a friend, and test just one isolated tactic. Start by using the rhythm of 3 to guide their dinner choice. True influence doesn't require being loud or aggressively pushy. By deploying these subtle psychological triggers, you guide people to eagerly align with your goals, entirely on their own terms.